Hello and welcome, movie lovers. Hope you're doing well. In this video, we have brought for you, so let's roll in.
A crew silently boarded the train one by one, following directions from their hacker, who cleverly disabled the train's weapon sensors without raising suspicion. She also tampered with a traffic signal, causing an accident that delayed traffic. This delay allowed a student named Alia, rushing to an exam, to board the train just as planned. With everyone in place, they waited for their leader. The train stopped and he entered disguised as an old man, his face and arm wrapped in bandages. He quietly lay down on a seat, waiting for the right moment. As the train moved, the hacker hijacked its route and disabled the station's tracking system. The train suddenly jerked, causing passengers to fall. That's when the crew pulled out their weapons and told everyone to stay calm. A policeman on board tried to stop one of the armed women and used her as leverage, ordering the others to drop their weapons. But no one moved. Their leader calmly stood, walked toward the officer, and, still pretending to be a frail old man, suddenly attacked and restrained him. The leader then addressed the passengers, warning them to stay still or suffer the same fate. He asked the officer what mattered most to him. The man replied, "My mother." The leader then asked her age and told passengers in that age group to stand. Several women rose. Just then, the hacker reactivated the CCTV feed to the control room. To everyone's horror, the leader shot the standing women. The authorities were shocked. The leader demanded to speak to someone in power. Chief Narmada was contacted. On the call, he criticized the government for neglecting its people. He made her sing a song called Uneasy and demanded to speak with the agriculture minister within 5 minutes, or he'd kill everyone on board. The minister joined the call. The hijacker asked if the number 10,281 meant anything to him. The minister was clueless. The hijacker revealed that 10,281 farmers had taken their own lives under his leadership due to crushing loan interest rates, 133% for a tractor, while the rich paid only 8% for luxury cars. He accused the government of punishing the poor simply for being poor. He then demanded 40,000 crore for the passengers' release. The minister hesitated, saying it was impossible without a business partner. The hijacker told him to accept the next business call. That caller turned out to be Kali, a powerful businessman and Alia's father. He had been lured into the situation during the earlier traffic accident. Kali was known for his crimes, including forcing people to surrender land for his factories. The hijacker's plan took a personal turn when Alia was forced to call her father, Kali. Worried for her safety, he contacted the agriculture minister and agreed to pay any amount to save her. On the train, Alia angrily confronted the hijackers, accusing them of being thieves and murderers using her to get ransom. Their leader calmly explained the truth. Her father's actions had ruined many lives. One of the hijackers' crew shared her story. Her father had been publicly beaten and humiliated after defaulting on a loan. He waited for his daughter to leave for school before taking his own life. At his funeral, loan officers came again, demanding payments, and even stripped her mother of her wedding necklace. In her rage, the girl struck one of them with an axe. Hearing this, the passengers were moved to tears. Even Alia was shaken. Soon, a signal confirmed the ransom was paid. The hijackers prepared to leave. Shockingly, the woman who had been shot earlier stood up, revealing it had all been staged. The crew gave the passengers head wraps to disguise themselves like the hijackers. When the train reached the station, the police were ready to arrest the suspects, but everyone looked the same. The crew vanished into the crowd. Meanwhile, the ransom money had already been distributed to 7 million farmers across the country to clear their debts. The government couldn't freeze the account in time. The public celebrated the unexpected miracle. Many farmers who had lost hope found a new reason to live. Alia returned home safely with a message from the hijacker. His name was Vikram Rathore. The name stirred something in Kali's memory, an old war incident. Authorities promised to catch him in the next operation. The women from the crew were arrested and sent to prison, where Vikram was actually the chief officer. Later, he was honored for his reform work in the prison and praised the inmates' transformation. They danced in celebration. Life continued, and Vikram went on another blind date. This time, he met a young girl who questioned him, saying she wanted a father and husband for her mother. She had already picked Vikram and even invited him to her school's parent meeting. To his surprise, the girl's mother turned out to be Chief Narmada. Vikram played along. The little girl, Suji, had succeeded in bringing them together. Narmada, loving her daughter deeply, asked Vikram to always stand by her, even if the whole world didn't. He promised. She gave him a chance. Meanwhile, the health minister began his election campaign, spreading nothing but lies. During his election speech, the health minister boasted about fixing public hospitals. He claimed they now had proper equipment, electricity, and trained doctors for all kinds of treatments. To prove his point, he boldly said that even if someone shot him right there, there'd be no need for a private hospital, because public ones were fully capable. Suddenly, a sniper shot hit him in the chest. His team rushed to take him to a private hospital, but when they arrived, he was missing from the van. The hijackers had already taken him to a government hospital. They broadcast a video online, stating that they had abducted him and demanded that the truth, hidden for years, be revealed. Otherwise, the minister's funeral should be planned. Faced with pressure, the authorities gave in. The truth was aired live on every news platform. 3 years earlier, 57 children died at that very hospital. Oxygen supply had been deliberately delayed by corrupt politicians, including the health minister. A doctor had called repeatedly, warning that without oxygen, the children would die. But the officials refused to supply it until they secured full payment for their shares in the oxygen deal. The doctor tried everything, pleading with suppliers and asking nurses to use manual oxygen pumps while she searched for help. By the time she returned with oxygen, it was too late. Instead of owning up, the system framed the doctor. They claimed she was on drugs and blamed the children's deaths on her. Her license was revoked and she was jailed. Now, with the truth exposed, the health minister finally confessed. It was their greed, not the doctor's fault. Vikram then gave them a new demand. Within 5 hours, they must equip 234 public hospitals with proper machines and electricity. Scrambling, the authorities complied and updated him with proof. Vikram requested a helicopter, but instead the police arrived to arrest him. A fight broke out, and he and his crew had to battle their way out. He escaped in the chopper, but Narmada managed to grab his mask. A DNA test on the mask's hair showed it belonged to multiple people. That hinted that Vikram used wigs and disguises often. Determined, Narmada ordered her team to dig deeper. Meanwhile, she married Vikram. During the wedding, her team finally sketched his full face. They tried to contact her, but she was unreachable during the ceremony. After the wedding, Vikram planned to tell her the truth. But just as he was about to, he received a phone call. Narmada stepped away, saw the sketch on her phone, and was stunned. Realizing who he truly was, she drew her gun and went to confront Vikram. While Vikram was on a call with his prison crew, Narmada confronted him and shot him in the arm. Suddenly, bullets flew through the house from all directions. Vikram held Narmada tightly, shielding her as they dodged the attack. K's men, sent by the powerful businessman, captured both Vikram and Narmada. Vikram's crew heard everything over the call and rushed in armed to rescue their leader. By the time they arrived, Vikram and Narmada were tied to chairs and being tortured. The men were particularly cruel to Narmada, suspecting her of betrayal. One of them shot her in the chest and kicked her to the ground. Vikram was furious but helpless. Just as the attacker aimed to shoot her again, someone unexpected stepped in, swinging an axe and killing everyone in his path. When he revealed his face, everyone was stunned. He looked exactly like Vikram. The mysterious man picked up Vikram and carried him away while the crew saved Narmada. The news reached businessman Kali. His brother was dead, and he swore revenge. Meanwhile, Narmada wanted to uncover the full truth. To get close to the imprisoned women from Vikram's team, she disguised herself as an inmate. She said goodbye to her daughter and began the mission. Inside the prison cell, she told the women how betrayed she felt by Ad, Vikram, who had used her and her child. The women gave her water and began explaining his past so she'd understand everything. They told her about Vikram Rathore and his wife, Aishwarya. Vikram had once been a legendary soldier and police officer. Aishwarya, too, was known for her strength and courage. Vikram had gone to war where, during a critical mission, many of their weapons failed. Soldiers died brutally, and one sacrificed himself by running into the enemy with a bomb. The rest were honored as heroes. In his speech, Vikram exposed how faulty guns caused their deaths. When he questioned the weapon manufacturer, the man lied, claiming officers didn't read English instructions. Vikram proved they did, and their contract with the company was cancelled. Later that night, Vikram returned home to Aishwarya. Their dog barked joyfully, but got jealous when Vikram hugged his wife and barked again. They laughed, sent the dog outside, and went to their room. Just before they could be intimate, the lights went out. The dog barked loudly. Vikram ran outside to check. Suddenly, he was injected with a drug that weakened him. Though he tried to fight, he was overpowered. They grabbed Aishwarya and slammed her to the ground. Vikram was taken away. When Aishwarya regained consciousness, she was met by 3 police officers. They claimed Vikram was involved in illegal activities and confiscated all their money. They pressured her to sign some papers to be released, but instead, she killed all 3 officers. Aishwarya was arrested and sentenced to death by hanging. One day, she was told her husband had come to see her. Overjoyed, she ran out, only to meet 2 strangers instead. They introduced themselves as arms dealers and admitted they had killed her husband. Meanwhile, Vikram had regained consciousness in a helicopter. His captors informed their boss they had crossed the border. Then, they shot Vikram multiple times and threw him out of the chopper, assuming he would die. Back in prison, the gunman told Aishwarya how they had murdered Vikram and wished her peace in death. When the time came for her execution, she suddenly fainted. Doctors checked her and discovered she was pregnant. By law, a pregnant woman cannot be executed until the child is 5 years old, so her execution was postponed. The other female inmates and even prison wardens took care of her. They shared food with her to ensure she remained healthy. 9 months later, she gave birth to a son named Azad. She raised him with love inside the prison. Years passed, and when Azad turned 5, Aishwarya prepared for her execution. She asked her son to grow up and take care of the prisoners who had helped raise him. She was hanged, and a kind prison warden adopted Azad and raised him like her own son. When he grew up, Azad did exactly what his mother asked, caring for the women in prison as if they were his family. Lakshmi, one of the inmates, finished telling the story with tears. Narmada was moved and asked to see Azad. Lakshmi reassured her that he was safe. Azad woke up and saw his father, Vikram, who had survived. Azad told Vikram everything his mother had told him growing up. Though Vikram had lost his emotional memory, he promised to fight alongside Azad, even if it cost him his life. Back in prison, Narmada was summoned for questioning. The officials had secretly recorded everything from a device hidden in her clothes. She was surprised. This wasn't the original plan. Then Irani, one of her teammates, revealed that he was secretly working for Kali, the villain businessman. He had sent Vikram's sketch to Kali and had orders to kill the prisoners unless they revealed Vikram's location. He was also instructed to kill Narmada and her daughter to avenge Kali's brother's death. Vikram, Azad, and their team were monitoring all this and rushed in to save everyone. Just as Irani aimed to shoot Narmada, Lakshmi jumped in and took the bullet. Vikram's crew arrived, overpowered Kali's men, and killed them. Unfortunately, Lakshmi died, and Narmada took her place in the team. Now they had a new mission to sabotage Kali's big business deal with a foreign investor. As Kali mourned his brother and waited for Irani's report, he launched a fleet of vans to deliver money for the deal. Vikram, Azad, and their team ambushed the vans. They took down Kali's men one van at a time. Just when they thought they had won, a second wave of heavily armed vehicles arrived. Vikram urged Azad and the others to keep going with the mission, while he and a few of his men stayed behind to hold off the reinforcements. Azad and his team, while fleeing Kali's men, suddenly found themselves cornered. They had reached the edge of a mountain with no escape. They were captured and taken to Kali. Kali was ready to kill them all when something strange happened. Azad suddenly appeared live on TV. Kali was shocked. How could Azad be in 2 places at once? Confused, he asked Vikram who he was. Vikram looked clueless, as if he didn't recognize anyone or understand the situation. Kali's men then told him the truth. The man on the live broadcast was Simba, and the one standing before him was Masar, both code names for versions of Vikram. Kali, now visibly confused, checked Vikram's chest and found bullet scars, the same ones from when he thought he had killed him years ago. That confirmed Vikram had survived. Kelly angrily demanded he stop pretending and asked him again who he really was. Vikram smirked and replied, "Santa Claus," which made everyone laugh. Kali was clearly being outsmarted. Azad then demanded someone with authority to negotiate. The government brought in Mivan Niak, but instead of negotiating, he ordered 100 soldiers to attack Azad and his crew. Azad's team fought back fiercely and defeated them all, sparing just one to go back and tell the story to his superiors. Azad then made a bold demand to the government. He wanted them to sign an executive order shutting down factories that polluted the environment and caused deadly diseases. Knowing they wouldn't take him seriously, he used leverage. Azad had hijacked all the electronic voting machines in the country. He had done this with the help of the female prisoners, who pretended one of them was in labor to stop and hijack the vans carrying the machines. Without those machines, there could be no election, and producing new ones would take years. Faced with public pressure and internal discussions, the head of state and his cabinet admitted that those factories were responsible for environmental damage and public health disasters. So they signed the order and shut the factories down. Kali's foreign business partners were furious, asking how they could open new factories when all existing ones were closed. Kali begged them for more time. Desperate, Kali tortured some of Vikram's crew for information on how to break into the prison and kill both Azad and his father. Meanwhile, Azad made his final public speech. He went live on national TV and revealed the truth. He said he was not Vram Rathor, but Vram's son. His father had been wrongly branded a traitor and executed for telling the truth. His mother had been hanged. And all these years, Azad had been fighting to prove that his father was a good man. Then he removed his mask, revealing his true face. He turned the message to the citizens. He scolded them for always asking questions about everything except during elections. He urged them to think deeply about the leaders they vote for, whether the person would improve education, healthcare, or the economy. Because whoever they choose will hold power for 5 years, and their choice will determine the country's direction. At the end of his speech, Azad promised to return the voting machines now that the government had done what was right. In the final fight, Kali beat up Azad and tried to shoot Vikram, but his gun jammed. The sound triggered Vikram's memory and he snapped. Fueled by rage, he overpowered Kali and his men. Azad and Vikram defeated them and took Kali to the same spot where Azad's mother was killed. Kali begged for mercy, but they ignored him. He was executed, justice was served, and peace was restored to the country.
Thanks for watching, and hope you have enjoyed this. See you in next amazing video. Till then, take care and best wishes, but don't forget to like and subscribe.